What up? Real quick, I wanted to show how you can turn a case study into a super awesome sales page. This is an example from one of my clients. This sales page they've been using for like a year. It's doing really well. I know it comes after their whole three-part video series, and it's also I believe they're also using it on cold traffic. It's doing really well there. So basically what they did was they took a case study I did for them and they turned that into the lead of the sales page. The lead being by far the most important part aside from the headline. So basically what they have here is just a headline that goes into just tells you what this is all about and goes deeper into the promise of what this is really about. It's not just becoming this product is how to build a bookkeeping business, but they mention how, it's not just about having a bookkeeping business, it's about having freedom, family, and finances. Um, and so they just introduce the idea, the deeper what it is, the deeper meaning behind it, and show some testimonials to back it up. And then they go into the story, into the case study. So what they do here, they did something super smart. They took a highlight moment from this person's journey. In this case, it was this moment that this woman and her husband were talking about. The husband was saying they needed a new truck, and she was like, we can't afford that. And then she realized, oh my gosh, I have all this money from my bookkeeping business I haven't touched. Let's see how much is in there. And realized she had enough to buy the truck and gave him the money. And so it's a real, it was a super exciting moment. And it's like, oh, this, it shows how the product works. And more importantly, shows how the product, changed their life, how it looks in their life, what's enabled them to do, and not just what it's doing, but the result of that, and how now they're able to buy the truck, and it's leading to better relationships because they're not stressed about money, they're not fighting about money. So basically, what they did here is they told that story, and they really did it in a lot of detail. Like they bring you, they're not just kind of glossing over. They walk you through exactly what happened. Liz, Liz and her husband were having this conversation. They give you the actual dialogue. They talk about, Liz was spun around in the kitchen, saw her husband sitting in the aging recliner. They use details like that to really suck you into the moment and walk you through. They're not just glossing over what happened. They're bringing you into that exciting moment through detail and through dialogue. And let's see. So we talk about, more cool dialogue, talking about Liz spotting, her little red Mitsubishi, realizing it was on its last legs, feeling the bump against the baby's car seat, realizing this is a problem, and then the realization of oh, I can withdraw the money, and they also then share what it felt like for her to withdraw that money, the pride she felt, the excitement she felt, the excitement her husband had. Again, they're really just painting the picture of what life can look like when you have your own bookkeeping business. And then they add little proof elements that show we're not just making the story up. Here's Liz actually talking about that. Then we add a picture of the image itself. It's awesome to add images to sort of show the transformation when you can. You want images that make people go oh yeah, that's what I want in my life. I want a new truck my husband's excited about with my adorable daughter hanging out. That looks wonderful. So then so the story captures. Oh, the other important part about that story is it's not just the exciting moment, it's also the exciting moment in relation to showing that the problem they had in the first place is no longer a problem. So a lot of times what the problem that people are looking to solve when they join this particular program is they need extra money. And this shows that they were in that situation of oh, we don't have extra money for a car, and then realizing, oh wait, yes we do, because I have this bookkeeping business. So it's touching on the same problem that the reader has, and then showing the solution of, oh, I can get rid of that problem through my bookkeeping business. And then they do something cool. They don't just end it there. It's not just about touching on the problem and painting the dream, which is kind of typical sales page lead. They then go deeper into getting rid of all the other options, all your competitors. It's showing why everything else is kind of crap, but it's doing that through Liz's story. So it's saying like, Liz wasn't always in this position. She used to be, just a stay-at-home mom, and they didn't have any extra income. So what they're doing is they're relating, saying, okay, Liz is where you want to be, but she was where you are right now. And, she had this dream of being where she wanted to be, and she saw these other options and she discarded them for XYZ reasons. Like, for example, they talk about how, she thought about multi-level marketing, but, didn't like feel right for her. Then they embellish it by adding their own stats and data on how multi-level marketing is crap. That's really big because that's sort of where the customer's at. They're thinking like maybe multi-level marketing is an option, but they're not really super into it. So this just puts that away as an option. It's like, yeah, no, your instincts were right. That is crap, and here's data to back it up. So what they're doing now is basically, yeah, they're just dispelling the other options through Liz's story. This makes it even more powerful than you just saying, "Oh, our product's better than everything else." You show why it's better. You got data to back it up, or you tell it through this other person's journey. And in this case, it's like, okay, how did Liz decide that these other options weren't that good? And then that shows the audience how they can come to that same decision too. And then they get into more of the story of the guy who created the program and how he created the program and why the program's great and all that stuff. But basically, the whole lead, the part that's really responsible for sucking the reader in and getting them to want the product, is a case study where they highlight, how your life can be different, the main problem that it solves, and also why this is a better option than everything else. And they do that through somebody else's story and through detail and dialogue, and not just giving the high level overview of like this helped her buy a truck, but actually bringing you into that moment and what that looked like and felt like, because that just makes the story more compelling and makes people want to read it. So if you want to write an awesome lead for your sales page, you can just use a freaking case study and pick a highlight moment and then share that, and then talk about a little bit of how the person got there, and why they chose you over everyone else. And there you go. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm at marketingwithbrian.com. Bye.